Imagine living in a place where there was no Wi-Fi, no more checking your email while you're getting coffee, no more instant notifications, no more news alerts. Our next guest lives in such a place, Green Bank, West Virginia, and it's home to the Green Bank Observatory, where you can find one of the world's most sensitive telescopes. This isn't for looking, by the way, but for catching distant signals from across the stars. Now, in order for the Green Bank telescope to pick up these signals, it's located inside the National Radio Quiet Zone, where no kinds of radio waves are allowed. Chuck Niday is an electronics technician at the Green Bank Observatory. And one of his many jobs is to search for signal interference like stray Wi-Fi and cell services that could alter the telescope's results. Hey, Chuck, thanks for joining us here on the Kim Komando Show. My first question for you is, what's the strangest place where you've ever found Wi-Fi hidden in your territory there?
Well, it's actually pretty hard to keep it hidden. Actually, the strangest source of Wi-Fi turned out to be a dehumidifier in somebody's house.
Dehumidifier?
Yeah, that's right. A wireless dehumidifier so that you could turn it on and off and change the settings remotely. I thought that's just too much.
So are you like the Ghostbusters there in Green Bank? I mean, you go around and you're looking for the Wi-Fi signals that might disrupt the telescope's operations?
We go around and we look to see what's there, but we don't try to shut it down because, well, there's various political reasons for that. But yeah, we generally do a weekly search throughout the area to see what's out there and just keep tabs of what's going on. We don't really try to eliminate it unless there's specific complaints about Wi-Fi from the astronomers.
So why can't there be any Wi-Fi? Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, there can be Wi-Fi. That's the thing. There's no rules or regulations that say that you can't use it. The rules that are out there say you can't interfere. So if you're not interfering, then it's okay to have it.
But we have so many gadgets that are now Wi-Fi enabled. I mean, it's astounding to me. Like, for example, like we have, of course, the smart kitchens. I know you don't do a lot of curling of your hair. I can see that. But but there's also now a Wi-Fi enabled curling iron. So if for some reason that you can't hit the button on your curling iron, you pull up your phone. It's crazy.
I agree. It's crazy. I mean, they're just going nuts with putting Wi-Fi and everything. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
So I saw a picture, you have a truck that's just loaded with all kinds of gear.
Yeah.
Now, do you drive around the streets or do people say, hey, listen, we're getting a complaint over here, or we think that there's something going on over here?
Yeah, basically I just drive around and look for the usual suspects for interference. And then a lot of things that we find are purely accidental. We just happen to stumble across a frequency. If an astronomer complains about interference to their observations, we try to get as much information from them as we can. And it may be off-site or it may be on-site. And it turns out, we're our own worst enemies, because to detect weak signals, we have to generate a lot of RFI on our own. So we do our best to shield and minimize that, but sometimes it sneaks out.
So do you have a big teenage population there in Green Bank?
No, we don't. We're losing kids by the bucketful. That's one of the sad things. We're just not nearly as many kids around here as there used to be. We have one high school for the whole county.
Well, if they can't get on Snapchat and Instagram these days,
yeah,
and live with those screens. So,
yeah.
So if somebody wants to shield themselves from Wi-Fi, are you using any of that type of Wi-Fi paint where you can actually paint the walls and so that this way the signal doesn't get out? Does that work?
We have one, the GBT equipment room and control room uses a paint like that, but we've also got other things in there. I think there's also a fine copper mesh that went in, and it wasn't completely effective in shielding. What we were trying to do was keep the RFI in the control room and out, keep it from radiating out of the building. So they went in with that paint you were talking about, and kind of put a coating of that over top the copper mesh. It amazes me how well the Wi-Fi frequencies propagate, like at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. It does a lot better than I ever thought it would. And that's from years of doing point-to-point microwave systems at those frequencies, and the equipment that you used to have to use was just big and cumbersome and stuff, and now it's little teeny boxes that just do all sorts of stuff.
So I just one final question for you, Chuck. Have you ever had to knock on somebody's door and tell them that they were having this Wi-Fi problem, and they said, we don't have any Wi-Fi, and then lo and behold, you find out that they do?
Actually, I did once. There's a yearly convention of amateur astronomers that meet at Green Bank, and we were detecting a Wi-Fi signal coming from our residence hall. So we walked over there and tried to narrow it down, tried to figure out exactly where it was coming from. And it turned out it was coming from one of the guest rooms. And as we were getting towards the door, there's this kid coming out, opened the door, looked at us, his eyes just kind of flew open like that. And he rushed back in, and then the signal disappeared. And then, like a minute later, an adult came to the door, and we told him what we were doing. He said, "Oh, there's no Wi-Fi in here." I said, "Are you sure? Because we're seeing a signal, or we did till the door closed." And they said, "No, nothing like that."
He was busted, Chuck.
He was busted, and actually, this was the guy that organized the convention. And the next day, he told us, "Oh, it was someone upstairs that brought their Nintendo with them."
Yeah, we believe
yeah,
it. Yeah, sure it was, Chuck. We buy that. Hey, listen, it was great having you on the show today and talking about Green Bank, West Virginia. It's amazing just how much we're able to learn from the universe with our technology, even when they're in the off position. Hey, thanks for watching. Now, a few things. Don't forget to click the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for more digital know-how, check out all these other great links.